Good morning, everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Cupid, Parasite. Looks like it's the morning after Lynette and Gill's night of passion. The loneliness finally boiled over, and Lynette confessed that she loved Gill, and of course, Gill had to take it all the way. He's like, we've been waiting for 2 years. So they had a night of passion. So now we're on the next chapter, cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, let's see how long these chapters are. We've reached, some point where their relationship is pretty much solidified, so I don't know how long it'll be before we get, the ending. Alright. Oh, it's still nighttime, never mind. I heard the sound of a message notification pinging and opened my eyes. I look at the clock, still half asleep, and I see it was 2 a.m. Who could it be at this hour? I reached for my phone to check and noticed Gill sleeping soundly next to me. Snooze. Ah. I noticed that Gill was completely nude. And the next moment I realized that I'm also just as nude as he is. No, you weren't drunk. Gotta remember what happened, unless it just happened so fast and your brain is still waking up. That's right. After we did that, Gill and I... Gasp. Remembering our intimate time together made me blush from ear to ear. It was amazing. At first I was so anxious, but gradually things got hot and heavy. It felt blissfully overwhelming to me. Knowing that we loved each other so much made it feel like an indulgence. Plus, Gill took me so often and held me close. Oh my. Multiple times in one night? Wow. He continued to tell me how deep his love for me was. I only shifted free from his grasp a bit ago and promptly passed out. I pressed my heated cheeks into my hands and buried my face in the pillow. Felt something cold touch my forehead. It was my Cupid's arrow. Huh? It's off? I don't remember turning it into a bow and arrow, yet somehow it's off my neck. Before now, I'd never been able to remove my Cupid's arrow from around my neck, but it's on the bed for some unknown reason. Huh. Why? Oh, we know from, the other routes is that when she falls in love, and I'm assuming when she does the deed, she becomes a human? So that's why it's off? Did she, always have it in the other routes? I thought, it just got lost before. Never been removed before. Suddenly, I feel worried that something bad was about to happen. Uh-oh. This is foreshadowing. Could it be because Gill and I slept together? Is my Cupid's arrow going to be okay? I take the removed Cupid's arrow and clutch it, feeling dumbfounded. I then heard another message notification. I look around the darkness of my room and see the bright screen of a phone. I realize it was Gill's. Gill must not put it on Do Not Disturb at night and wake him up all night. He keeps getting messages. Gill might wake up. I know I shouldn't mess with his phone, but I did think it. However, when I got close, I saw something that made me go pale. On the lock screen, there was a message. The truth behind Cupid Corporation, President Snail's backroom deals. What? Wait, what? Is this some tabloid he's subscribed to, or what? Oh, what is this? I know I shouldn't, but I couldn't help but unlock Gill's phone. I was shocked beyond words. Top bridal advisor Lynette Mir is a scam artist was written there as well. Wait, why? What is this? Why is my name here? This never really popped up in the other routes, did it? It was mostly just oh, Shelby Snail, married? Here's his wife. Oh, it's not actually his wife. Oh no. My shaking fingers opened the message. Within it was an unbelievable article. There's baseless rumors about Cupid Corporation and countless insults directed at the president and me. My mind whited out. What have I done to warrant such hate? Why would Gill receive a message about this article? I don't think he wrote it. He might just be trying to follow through on it, trying to figure it out. Well, more than likely, I don't think Gill's that kind of person who would, like, write nasty things. I shakily swiped the screen and saw a message from the sender. Gill's cell phone screen. Gill, finished the article. Please confirm. The article was excellent and well written. I'll eagerly be waiting for more. I dropped Gill's smartphone at my sudden realization. All the dots connect and lead me to a terrifying conclusion. Lynette Muir is a scam artist, and the person who sent these messages asked Gill to confirm the article and give the go-ahead. And the article was excellent. Is he doing? Wait, is he doing it? Is he writing the article? Maybe, I don't know, it seems a little underhanded to, like, write something bad to a person just to, like, come to their rescue, maybe? Then that means that the one who wrote the article was it Gill? That can't be true. There has to be a mistake. After all, Gill is a lovelorn parasite and... Say, have you seen the president recently? The president? Well, no, I haven't. He's been so busy recently that I haven't seen him around the office. How come? If you haven't, that's fine, but... Sorry, can I ask you another question? Did you notice anything strange happening after Parasite House aired? Felt like a cold, fierce hand was gripping my heart. I don't know, the way you phrase that makes me think, like, someone else is writing it, and, like, he just wants to, like, check to see if Lynette's actually, like, seeing the bad press. I don't know. Is this gonna become an issue for Lynette? Is she gonna, like, misunderstand? No. I don't want to doubt Gill. Yet all the evidence points to him. It can't be. Because if it's true, then that means... Sorry, it wasn't anything major. Now let's go get dinner. Where do you want to go? Gill was lying to my face back then. Gill changed the subject rather quickly after asking about the president. Oh, no, now she's just like... No, she's going down the wrong conclusions. Then it must be. The shock sends me flying from the bed. I have to remain calm, but I can't calm down right now. Gill's laying next to me. He just said that he loved me. There's no way I can calm down. I took my clothes and my Cupid's bow and left the room. Oh, I already know where to go. I can't stay here. I can't calm myself down enough. You're going to the park at night? With nowhere in my home to go, I went alone to Los York Park. I sat on the bench to try and cool my head. I need to reorganize my thoughts. That earlier message. I take a deep, steady breath in a desperate attempt to calm myself. She's already thinking bad things about Gill. We just, like, got together with him. Why is there drama? But it's a fruitless endeavor. This all happened just as I learned about Gill's true feelings for me. Even if Gill didn't write the article, I would still feel just as aggravated about this. What do they mean by calling me a scam artist? From what I briefly saw, it mentioned my time with the Parasite 5. Despite Parasite House being a hit, there are people who think it was all fake. It didn't help when they left Cupid Corp. There's always gonna be a critic out there, no matter where you go. On top of that, they're saying I was dating all of them. Well, Was it like one of the bad endings that we did? That was like, they all like practiced on us, even though, yeah, we weren't dating any of them. Oh, that was a weird ending. That was a weird harem, but not really harem ending. Anyway, that I was deceiving the other members and creating a personal harem. My honest intention was to help matchmake other people. So why would people say those things about me? Because people could be terrible people and get jealous, or they just want drama. Top of that, Gill could have written that according to the message. What should I do? Is there anyone I can talk to about this? The ones who I usually go to when I have trouble are Gill and Clarice. But Clarice is out tonight, and I can't talk to Gill to, well, Gill. Oh, hi. Hi, Chi. What? Chi? Felt Chi rubbing himself against the back of my head. Seems that he followed me all the way to the park. Chi can't talk, so I hug him and tried my best to get my emotions under control. Little blushes. Is this the kind of work Gill wanted to do? Did he join Outroad so he could publish this kind of stuff? But wait, Outroad doesn't publish stuff about Cupid Corp. They aren't a tabloid, they're a car magazine. Although they did want to publish Gill's love letters, which has nothing to do about cars, but I don't know, like separate segment. I don't think they would like get a car magazine, would probably stay out of like the drama of like some unrelated corporation. Being alone is making me think horrible thoughts. What if Gill was only being kind to me for the sake of that article? G is fidgeting around. I might have hugged him a bit too tight. I loosened my grip, but I refused to let go of him. I look down as I hold his warm, fluffy body. Calm down, Lynette. Someone like Gill would never do that to you. Oh, what? What? A rooster? I couldn't help but yell as my train of thought was suddenly interrupted. Wait, what? I look up, blink, and am still confused because right in front of me, late at night, is a rooster. Wait, I've seen this happen before. Back in Celestia. I think back to when I was being scolded by Dad. I remember a rooster sleeping behind him. So that rooster is one of Dad's divine beasts. Maybe he knows where I am. Excuse me, but are you one of Dad's divine beasts? I cautiously asked the rooster, and he nods. Then he opened his mouth. The rooster talks. Cupid, I was looking for you. You can talk? I thought he'd make some sort of chicken noise, kind of like how Chi makes animalistic calls. I was super shocked. Maybe he's a little bit more sophisticated divine beast, I don't know. The rooster flapped his wings while approaching me, or maybe it's just like a parrot. Celestia's in shambles because someone named Cupid has gone missing. Rah! Come back immediately. Celestia's in shambles? But I was about to say that I needed to go home, but I cut myself off. The man who may have written that article is sleeping in my room right now. May have, not for sure. Don't. Is she gonna run away back to like home, like Celestia home? I felt tears welling up in my eyes. I bit my lip to try to suppress the urge to cry. I refuse to shed tears right now. You must return immediately. There's big trouble. Alright, I understand. I don't want to go back to my place anyway. Plus, if there's trouble in Celestia, I must go. It's my duty. Are you really that naive? Oh, the Mars told me to go back home. Okay, I believe you. You're not gonna be able to get back down. They're gonna, like, lock you up. After all, I am a god. If I want to return to the human realm, I can just ask Auntie for her help. I steel myself to return and followed the rooster to travel back to Celestia. It has been 6 years since I last went home. That is a long time. Wait, can't she? I thought she lost her necklace. Is she gonna be able to go back home? Oh, we're gonna find out later, because now Gill's awake. Oh, it's already morning. I pause my smartphone alarm while only half awake. Then I get out of bed and realize I was in her room. That's right. Yesterday we found out that our feelings for one another were mutual and quickly got together and consummated things. I felt so happy yet so embarrassed all at once. I ran out of the room to go embrace her, but she's not going to be home at all. Uh-oh. But she was nowhere to be found. Oh god. No shirt. Where is she? Like, oh yeah, put on his glasses, but no shirt. She's not in the bathroom, the restroom, Claris's room, or even the kitchen. I even check under the bed just in case. Okay, what, she's gonna pull in a prank or something? Everywhere I look, she's not there. Even her shoes are gone too. That must mean she left and went outside without leaving a note. Is this her way of telling me that I was bad in bed? Aw, self-deprecation. Gil. I picked up my phone to check my messages and see if she sent me anything. Maybe she's just tired of me and left. But would she just leave her whole apartment? It's like she can't, like, she has to come back home to here. But there's no messages from her. Instead, there's one from a colleague at Outroad. A text from colleague. Hey, don't leave me on red. Did you see the article? Left on red? I look back at the message history. There's an unbelievable article linked there. It's full of slander towards her. So the rumors were true. A Cupid Corp competitor is on a smear campaign. Alright, well that checks out from the other routes. What did they call her? Like Roman Julie? the competitor that Mars just like set up to try to like slander and bring Lynette down. When my colleague asked me about Cupid Corp, he mentioned that there was a plan behind the scenes to ruin them. We were talking about how to put an end to this and eventually found the article's writer. We arranged a bribe to get them to stop. After all, she works at Cupid Corp. I didn't want to see her get hurt. Yeah, that also checked out with Gil's personality. I don't think he would write it. I think he would just take steps to try to, like, protect her from it. Like, either hide it or, like, somehow get rid of it. This message was read before I saw it. That means... The only thing I can think is that while I was asleep, she saw this article and read it. So not good! Okay, connected the dots. She made a misunderstanding. I felt all the blood drain from my face. The way my curt colleague phrased things sounded like I wrote the article. What the heck am I supposed to do with this? I need to fix things now, but... Ugh, I need to respond to this. I was on cloud 9 yesterday, but now I feel like everything is falling apart as I am typing a message to her. Huh? I heard the sound of a message notification pinging by the pillow. She left her phone. Her smartphone is here. Not with her. Then how do I get in touch with her? Snap out of it, Gil. Now's not the time to get distracted. She must have felt hurt from this. I have to go find her. I quickly yanked on my clothes and ran outside. I have to find where my true love is, and soon. Next chapter. Okay, cock-a-doodle-doo is short. Next is Come What May. And Lynette is already a Celestia. How is Gill going to find her up here? Upon my return to Celestia, I was tasked with cutting ties as my first job. When those who are not tied by fate have a relationship, tragedy and strife often ensues. Even I, the god of war, will have trouble simply stopping fights between humans. Thus, it is necessary to cut all needless bonds. That's why you, Cupid, must cut all ties between troublesome lovers using the leaden arrow. Thank goodness! They just needed arrows in order to cut ties. My Cupid's arrow has 2 types of arrows. The golden arrow makes people fall in love, and the leaden arrow cuts ties. I was secretly relieved that using the leaden arrows was all I needed to do. The reason being is that I had left my golden arrow back home. Before tonight, it would always be around my neck no matter what. Okay, so only part of her necklace fell off? Not the whole thing? Maybe it's because Gill and I did the no pants dance, but now the golden arrow no longer returns to me. If Dad found out about all this, he'd be beyond furious, so I kept quiet and put my hand over my chest and nodded. I understand, Dad. He looked obviously relieved. I think he must have expected me to rebel against his orders. Well, I see. Then I'm counting on you to do your duty, Cupid. Dad quickly walked away. Seems his attitude has changed since my departure from Celestia. It's very clear that he doesn't want me to pull a stunt like that again. Dad said that tragedy and strife often ensue when unfated people are in a relationship. If that's the case, then perhaps Gill and I weren't fated to be together. Oh, don't shoot him with a lead arrow. He loves you. It's all a misunderstanding. Gill and I just happened to live together. He happened to like caring for others. I happened to not have any common sense. Our love started by mistake. That's why it failed. It was a bunch of coincidences. Of course, it was doomed to fail. I ignored the pain in my heart and aimed my leaden arrow with the intent to cut ties. Then I peered into the spring of love. Within this spring, I can see the human realm. It just looks like a sink or a urinal. Steadily, I go through Lord Jupiter and the deconsentees list, wondering what sort of ties I had to sever. Freeloaders, domestic abusers, adulterers, stalkers, and cheaters. I have to step in. It's my duty to sever these bonds as Cupid. Humans really love to go dumpster diving when it comes to relationships. Oh, now she's... this is rebounding. She had a bad night. Well, she had a good night, but then a bad after that. Now she has to go on a shooting spree. In the end, they truly do need to rely on the gods. Those couples are the kind that stay together even if a human advised against it. All of you separate. Only properly fated couples get to stay together. I don't even care about Gill anymore. If Gill was the author of that article, then I'm just another victim of a bad relationship. The more I think about our relationship, the more my heart hurts. I can't even tell fact from fiction anymore. Instead of thinking about Gill, I take my anger out on humanity by aiming more leaden arrows through the spring. Upon being struck by my arrow, ill-matched couples decide to break up, returning peace to their lives. They're just like, okay, bye. Sometimes it's not about love, sometimes it's just a power thing. It felt refreshing fulfilling my duty as Cupid for the first time in a while. Hi Jupiter. Did I make a voice for him? I feel like we saw him at like the beginning, and then like he just kind of walked off. A leaden arrow? Is Cupid's power returning? What could this mean? I have to get to the bottom of this. I don't know what voice to give him. Gill is running around Lost York. You're not gonna find her down here. Where are you? Lynette, where did you go? I've been searching for her for days now. I finished proofreading my writing, which left me with extra time. I ended up requesting time off to search for her. Must have been, like, fraught with worry while trying to work. But she was nowhere to be found. Did you call Clarice? Maybe Clarice can help. Clarice also has a connection to Minerva. Minerva might be able to help too. I covered 1st to 4th Avenue. I went to Cupid Corp. I even went to the theater we used to work at. Still, no sight of her. It's like she was spirited away from the world. Only I remember her. Did you talk to Clarice? I asked Raoul and Casain, but they just replied that they haven't seen her either. I contacted Clarice, but it was the same response. Please, please come back to me, Lynette. I opened my hand and revealed the necklace I was gripping so tightly. He has the arrow! It was her trademark necklace, shaped into a strange arrow. I held it tightly to make sure I don't drop it. I thought she would come back for her necklace, but there was no sign she ever returned to her apartment. Please, I just want to have 5 minutes of your time, Lynette. My vision blurred in that moment. I hadn't rested for days due to my ongoing search. But I can't stop. I have to keep going. My hunger and exhaustion are nothing compared to my desire to see her again. Without you, there's no point to all of this. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have worked so hard at my job. I love working at Outroad, but I think I love being with her even more. In the end, it all comes back to my thoughts about her. As pitiful and unusual as it is, she really is the center of my world. It's through her that I was starting to change. Yet, in the end, I'm just a lovelorn parasite. I'm useless without her. I just want to make you happy. Without you, I have no reason to keep going on. Gill, keep it together. That's why I have to find her. I want to see her again. Embrace her again. Talk to her and tell her that I love her. I have to find her. I have to find her. No matter what, I have to find her. But I can't. My mind feels as slow as syrup. Oh, bye. I suddenly felt weak in the knees and sat down. I barely keep from collapsing by propping myself up against the store window. I can't stop here. If I stopped now, I feel like I'll never see her again. And if that's the case, then that's it for me. Lynette. Oh, good night. Sleepy time. Can't go on, though. I can barely move. My vision goes dark. Who dis? My word, I was wondering where you'd run off to. Well, you're not gonna find her running around here. I want to say Clarice, because Clarice is pink, but a lot of times they just use that color for mysterious people as well. This voice! I know this voice, but I can't force my eyes open. In fact, I heard this voice right before I passed out. It's so warm. I was dozing and I felt something relaxing around me. It was like the soft feeling of being wrapped in high-quality cotton. Something soft climbs on top of me. Lynette Mirror, question mark? Gill? Hey, Gill? It's her. Oh, I finally found you. I reach out to embrace her. I can feel her soft hair and the smoothness of her skin. She's nude. We kiss. This is just like the dreams I had in college so many times before. Don't. We shouldn't do this. I want you, Gill. Please don't deny my desires. Those sweet, tempting words would be something she would never say. Yet I still feel dizzy as we lay with one another. I touch her, then lick her gently. Soon I press inside her and we share another kiss. Oh my, passionate dream. Very wet dream. It feels so good, but something is off. Why do I feel so sad? I feel tears drip down onto me. They feel like cold water. Whatever I was touching moves away quickly. No, this isn't her. At least not the real her. This is a dream. Ugh. Is he Alan? Wait. The sensation of a tear on my cheek forced my eyes open. It's my own tears, blurring my vision. I rub my eyes and move to get up and find Claris for some strange reason. Hi, you awake again? It always seems to be Claris, huh, when he gets those dreams. Uh-huh. Claris? Why? Where am I? Hi, Alan. Ah, you're finally awake. You're in my store. You collapsed right outside my window, you know. What? Alan? Oh, God. So sorry. Did I cause you any trouble? Nah, we're not open today anyway, so it's fine. But I need to head out for a bit, Claris. Could you look after old Gill here? Yeah, no prob. Alan opens the door to the shop and leaves. I watch him go, then I turn to face Claris. Claris, you're friends with Alan? I never saw you talk to each other at Cupid Corp. We're, something like that. Old friends. But not really, you know? Okay, that's a little sussy. Alright. If it wasn't clear now, it's probably, yeah, it's clear by now that if Alan is an incubus, then Claris is probably a succubus, or maybe some other weird mythical creature. I don't know. They both have purple hair. I'm assuming they're both like the same thing. Alan, the thieving parasite, and Claris, who's always got someone different. Makes sense that they're friends. Wait, I'm getting off topic. She's gone. Claris, have you seen her? Oh, I know. I saw the message, so you're not telling me anything, no. Why are you so calm about this? Do you know where she is? Well, something like that. Claris, please tell me. I need to see her. Even if she's out of the country, I'll find a way to get to her. I mean, she's a little bit more than out of the country. Even if it's high above in the sky, it's gonna think that she went to heaven. Anywhere! I'll go anywhere! I thought Claris was using a metaphor, so I just went along with it. If I can see her one more time, then I'll go anywhere in the world. If she's at the bottom of the ocean, I'll build a sub. If she's in the depths of space, I'll make a rocket. I'll go anywhere. Oh man, the dedication here. Uh-huh. So you really are the Lovelorn Parasite after all. But I didn't mean that metaphorically. She's really up there. Claris points up towards the sky above with a huge grin. Did you know that she was the god Cupid? Excuse me? Well, Claire's nose kind of solidifies many things. Also, why does she know Minerva? That makes sense. Okay, there's some weird connection here going on. Cupid? Like the matchmaking company? Or like an angel? She's a real deal Cupid. And she's a god or an angel or whatever. She matchmakes for humans. While part of me doubted Claris's words, another part of me just blindly accepted it as the absolute truth. She was always so dedicated to matchmaking for others, and not herself. She even tried to get Claris and I together. It all makes sense now. I nodded in understanding. I see. So she's Cupid. No wonder she's always acting like that. She just accepts it. Okay, Gill. The blind faith. Couldn't really get that out of Shelby and Ryuki, could we? Oh, so you believe me? You wouldn't lie about something like this, Claris. Plus, she's always been my angel, so it makes sense. When I first met her, she lacked any common sense. She was always saying humans are amazing at anything new. I watched her over her all this time. I already knew that she was no ordinary human girl. It's like it all clicks now. She's not just a sheltered rich girl. After all, I taught her how to live like your typical human. At the time, I thought she was just a sheltered rich girl. More so, since she never talked about her family. She always looked troubled when I asked about her parents or about her middle school life. Then. More like she didn't want to hide it. It's like she didn't really have one. Say, Gill, do you believe in God? That day, her smile looked so sad to me. I understand now. It was because she was the god Cupid. Yep, you really get it, huh? Roel often talked about gods and mythology, so I've kind of just accepted the existence of gods. Still, there's one more doubt. But if she's not here, that means she went back to her world. How can I follow her there? Hey, one thing at a time. I'll show you how. But first, give me your hand. My hand? I opened my hand in curious confusion. Suddenly, the necklace wrapped around my hand pointed upward. The arrow on the chain pointed directly to the sky. Claris pointed in the same direction. It's gonna act like a compass. Is he really gonna fly there? And that's Cupid's arrow. It's a tool of her trade. What? This is her tool? Yep, and it's trying to return to its owner. That's the golden arrow. It's capable of making people fall in love. Did you happen to see another bow and arrow around here? No, I didn't. There was just this one there. Your clothes are missing too. So I say. Claris cups her chin in her hand and thinks for a moment. Then she shakes her head and winks at me. Anyhow, the arrow is pointing to where she is, which is Celestia. However, it's not a place you can reach by plane. Even I don't know how to get there. But when there's a Gill, there's a way, huh? After all, you're the lovelorn Parasite. She's gonna expect him to just fly there, huh? If you want to get her back, then you need to become her hero, Gill Lovecraft. I understand all that, but how do you know all this, Claris? I turned to talk to her, but like smoke in the wind, Claris was gone. Okay, that's creepy. What? She vanished. I look around everywhere, but there's no sign of Claris in the store. Okay, that's a little unsettling. Is Claris not human either? Or was this just all in my head? But what we talked about is real. The charm on the necklace pointing towards the sky would be impossible otherwise. It's like a ghost, she's just gone after giving some advice. Alright. Gill's like moving on. Putting that aside. I look at my hand and see that the arrow tip is still unnaturally pointing up towards the sky above. Can you just like wish it? Like, I don't know. Somehow ascend. There's too many things I didn't know, but no matter what, I know that this is her necklace. Claire said that the arrow is trying to return to its owner. That's her. None of this feels real. It's like I'm living in a fairy tale. But considering the simple fact that she's gone, I can't keep calm. Wait for me, Lynette! I'll go to where this arrow is trying to return to. Clara said that you can't use a plane to get there. That means I need to do something so that this arrow can become one. Up until now, I've been trying to achieve this dream of mine. Now it's time to make it come true. I grip the arrow and dash out of Alan's shop. I'm heading to Baltimore's coast. There's a private beach owned by the Lovecraft family there. It's home to my secret workshop. Gonna build something that can reach the gods. Hi, Alan. He's gone. I'm sure Gill can save her and find his way to Celestia. That's asking a lot of a human. But I should still help out however I can. And maybe earn my own way back to Celestia. Oh. Are you a god? Are you a fallen god, maybe? Maybe he's Hades or something. Hades, like, got sent down to the underworld, right? A few days had passed since I returned to Celestia. I'm exhausted. I was busy separating incompatible couples who constantly fought. I look at the list and check the names off one by one, but there's no sight in end, or no end in sight rather, dyslexic. There's this many mismatched couples? I thought I was about halfway done, but Dad just keeps bringing me additional names. That's the level of fighting happening in the human realm. This is all because I abandoned my duty as Cupid in order to try matchmaking like a human. That's not true. I don't want to think that everything I did in the human realm was completely wasteful. I peer into the matchmaking spring and aim my arrow once again. I look for the couples that I connected at Cupid Corp. Are they still together? If so, then you succeeded. There's some who have split up, but there's also so many happy couples who have built an even happier family. Some are smiling so cheerfully. That's proof that humans can matchmake and bring happiness too. Well, having doubts. But I can't look at them any longer. Not while feeling this way. So I turn away from the spring. It pains me to see so many happy couples. Makes me long to be like them. Gill. When I whisper his name, I feel a sharp pain in my chest. Gill, why did you of all people receive that article? Stop being silly. I said I wouldn't care about him. I said I'd forget all about Gill. I shake my head and chide myself. With new resolve, I aim my leaden arrow once more. I am the god Cupid. I'm not a human. Thus I cannot be together with another human. No, sad. Nope. Meanwhile, Baltimore at Lovecraft family's private beach. You can act like it's some, like, Bond headquarters. Oh. Alright, it fit! I just need to connect this to this circuit next. He's literally building something that can reach Celestia. Alright. I locked myself in my lab the day I arrived in order to create the perfect car, which I started as a kid. This car has a special flying contraption. Thanks to my time at Outroad, as well as my experience in university, I've accumulated a lot of knowledge, enough to reach heaven. That's why, finally, I should be able to make this all come together. My ultimate car can fly and transform. It might even be the perfect car to go where the arrow is pointing to. But I don't have enough parts on hand. Everything here was from when I was a kid. Of course the parts left here aren't good enough. I can obtain some parts at the local car factories, but all of them know my face and name. If I go, they'll all think I'm back in the family business. Heck, they might even tell my folks. Can't see Dad yet. I still don't think we can speak to each other as equals. But desperate times call for desperate measures. It's obvious that I can't make my ultimate car with the parts I have on hand. I can apologize and patch things over after I'm done. I wipe up the oil smeared on my face and head to the car factory. Just you wait, Lynette. I'll find you. Some way, somehow. After 6 years of loving you, we were finally together. There's no way I can give up so easily. Compared to my love for her, my family problems are nothing. I made up my mind and, determined, headed to the car factory I so often went to as a kid. Then I proceeded to run all around Baltimore. I begged for some favors and made some promises, and almost went to a party. In the end, I got all the parts I needed. Alright, all that's left is to follow the blueprint. I promised to pay everyone back if I'm successful. That was only allowed because I'm a Lovecraft. Pretty low of me, taking advantage of my family name when it's convenient. Maybe I should go and see my parents and talk things over after all. She did tell me that they might understand me better if we just talk. But right now, getting to her takes priority. I follow the blueprints all while looking at her necklace. I really hope this is enough to reach her. At least this arrow can solve my energy problems. It appears that Cupid's arrow stores an astronomically huge amount of energy. Oh yeah, it's like a superhero movie. Got the Tesseract here or something. I forget like Marvel lore, but like something with like stupid amounts of energy. I ran some tests and was surprised by what I found. It solved loads of energy problems. Not having a well-balanced power source was the biggest reason why I gave up on my dream car. In my plans, the fuel tank was too big and heavy to make a car that could fly. In turn, making it light enough to fly would be meaningless if there wasn't enough fuel to get her high above. The flyability and energy issues were one and the same. The fact that the Cupid's arrow solved this problem shows how powerful it is. You just need an artifact of a god. The arrow has an energy not natural to our realm. It's an out-of-place, unusual artifact, so to speak. Once inserted into the energy source's tank, this car should have an infinite flight distance, theoretically. It's just using the power of love. To think that she, of all people, wore this arrow. She really is the bona fide god of love, Cupid. I didn't fully believe Claris's words completely, but I was fully convinced that my love isn't human. But that doesn't matter anymore. I fell in love with her for herself, and that means loving her true identity. Oh, how sweet. Even Lynette wasn't sure that, like, Shelby and Ryuki would accept her for who she really was. I so desperately want to embrace her. Then I'll apologize and tell her I love her. And after that, if I get the chance, I want to say those once-in-a-lifetime words to her. Oh, I was gonna get married. In order to do all that, I have to complete this car. I clutched the Cupid's arrow tightly in my hand as I continued working, but... Oh what? By the time I realized it, I had already passed out again. Has he, like, rested at all. And firing all cylinders and not taking care of himself, probably. Darn it! I fell asleep again. I don't have much time left either. Couldn't waste any time on sleeping or even eating, yet acting carelessly is why I passed out. I rubbed my tired eyes and turned to the car, but then I sensed another presence there with me. Hi, Alan. You're not gonna get anywhere if you keep pushing yourself too hard. Alan? What are you doing here? That day, I saw you running around with desperation in your eye. So I closed up the shop and followed you. I'm worried too, you know. Because she's in love with you. Alan licks his lips in a devilish way. That's right. Alan's the thieving parasite. Hands off, Alan! She's mine! Oh, I know that. I wouldn't taste nearly so... She wouldn't taste nearly so sweet if I could. Alan, no swiping! Anyway, I'm working right now. If you're only here to cause trouble, then please go away. I look away from Alan and pick up a wrench. Right then, I feel my head spin. I've always been amazed with just how fragile humans really are. You'll never reach her if you don't, you know, eat something. After saying that, he put down a bag with a crab cake burger inside, a Baltimore special. Aw, it's his favorite. My treat. I know you're in a hurry, but if you want to make progress, you need to take a break once in a while. What? Thanks, I guess. Anyway, I gotta get going. Alan waved his hand at me as he left. Could have stayed and eaten with me. I wouldn't have minded. Oh, why did he come all the way here anyway? I was so sure Alan would say that he wanted to steal her away from me, but now I have some doubts. What are Alan's intentions? Like, he wants to go back to Celestia, so that has to... I'm guessing that has something to do with Lynette. Whatever. I'll ask him when I get her back. I have no time to spare. I need to put every ounce of brain power towards finishing this car. I take out the burger from the bag Alan brought me and hungrily scarfed it down. The taste is nostalgic, like the same burger I often ate on my way home from school. That familiar taste fills my mouth and suddenly I want to cry. After leaving my family home, I sought out my own love and met her. But no matter what, I grew up as a Lovecraft in our city of Baltimore. This nostalgic, familiar taste is the taste of my home. I feel pathetic realizing such a simple thing this late in my life. I open my mouth and take a big bite. I licked the stray mustard sauce on my fingers and got back to work. Hope you wiped the oil off your hands. Maybe it's because I've had a meal, but I feel warm now. Plus my mind is clear. Alan was right. If I don't take care of myself, I'll never reach her. I have to rest if I want enough energy. I was in too much of a desperate hurry. Because of that, I ended up losing focus. That's a bad habit of mine. In the end, it was like I was fruitlessly running on a hamster wheel. I didn't talk to my folks and I just ran away. Because I didn't have any money, I ended up with a lot of hardship. Then, once I met her, I started to care for her. I ended up falling in love with her. I didn't have the courage to tell her how I felt, and found that I couldn't leave her be. I pursued her so fiercely. Words are hard. Drink some water. But to be honest, I just wanted to laugh with her. I should have told her about that article. Then there would have been no misunderstandings. I wanted to protect her from getting hurt, but my thoughtless actions only caused pain. Back when I was trying to figure out my life, I mistook Claris's voice for her when they were using that voice-changing app. I should have directly given her my letter instead of sticking it inside the textbook. I shouldn't have tried to be so roundabout. Instead, I should have just talked to her directly. No, more so. Instead of being ambiguous, I should have just outright said that I loved her from the start. What would she have said to me back then? I imagined her reaction and then laughed to myself. It might not have worked on her back in university. She was even less aware of these things. I'm sure her mindset back then was that of a god, Cupid, rather than a human woman who could fall in love. But after working in human society, she started to spend more time with them. It seems like that changed her heart. And then, right after, she fell for me. I lost her. But I won't give up, not as long as she's up there. That's why I'm determined to finish making this car and go to her. A few hours later, I finished the exterior of the car and heaved a sigh. Ugh, I can do this! I open my hand and see the Cupid's arrow wrapped around it. Once I insert this, the car will be complete. I can feel the tension in the air and my own pounding heartbeat. If I couldn't bring this car to life, if my theories were incorrect, if what Clara said wasn't true, then I wouldn't be able to go to where my love is. That can't be true, though. I love her more than I love anything else. Even if everything is fighting back against me, I will find a way to reach her. After all, that's who I am. I'm Gill Lovecraft, the Lovelord Parasite. Here it goes! I hold up the Cupid's arrow high in the air and shove it right into the car. This is so cheesy. With the power of love. Oh, Alan. Looks like things are going well. Seems about time for me to join in the fun. Oh no, is he gonna do something? Ultimately, this body can never return to Celestia. I hate taking advantage of Gill like this, but... Wait, what the... My body is getting sucked in. What? Bye? The moment I stuck the arrow into the car, it began to shine. My shock knocked me off my feet. Where did Alan go? Did he just get, like, blown away? Wild, stormy winds whip up, and I grab onto what I can so I don't get sucked in. I realize how wild things have gotten. I look up and see something descend from above, sucking up the car. Is this all due to the Cupid's arrow? Maybe the arrow is a catalyst for an energy born from the sky. Nonetheless, this gale is sure something else. But now I'm thinking about how to harness it and use it to propel myself above. I look at the car I just finished assembling with my mouth wide open. It's as if it were responding to me. The car's blinker moved on its own. Then the engine turned over and I came back to my senses. If the car gets away from me, then my chance to see her will end just like that. Please, let me ride you so I can get to her. I force myself forward one step at a time as the gale gusts around me. I made you so I can go see my love. Bumblebig, let me in. Did he name it after the transport cars? This perfect pink car was modeled after the same transforming robot from my favorite series, Transfer Cars. I call out my car's name and put my hand on the door. In an instant, the blinding light surrounding it dimmed and the car returned to its original pink. You've calmed down? I look around and see nothing out of the ordinary. It seems the Bumblebig has calmed down. Wow, I really did it! What is this? I was on edge as I climbed in. In anticipation, I had dressed up in a suitable outfit to welcome my love back home. I sat down on the seat and felt it mold to me perfectly. I click the special seatbelt in place and take a deep, calming breath. This is my first car made by my own hands. I'm confident that no matter what, it'll run, even though I haven't done any tests. I turn over the engine and hit the gas pedal. I take more deep, calming breaths as I look at the Cupid's arrow, which is stuck in the hood. The arrow is still pointing straight up towards the sky. I can only hope I can get there. Let's ride, Bumblepig! As if responding to my words, the car honked in answer. With no further hesitation, I put my foot on the pedal. The car begins to shake violently. Soon the howling wail of the car's gimmick starts to rattle around. Let's go! I press a button and put the pedal to the metal. G-forces slam into me as the sky grows closer and closer. Is this real life? What is this? We're really doing it. We're doing it. We're actually flying in the sky. You're flying, Bumblepig! The blue of the sky zips by as I cheered and rose higher. This childhood dream of mine, this impossible dream of mine, has finally come true. I'm in a flying car. I'll do everything it takes to reach her. I'll be there soon, Lynette. Please wait for me. I cheer again and press the pedal down even harder. All of this is so that I can go wherever she is. I truly believe that we'll be reunited. Is it the next chapter? Things are getting weird. All right. Looking for lost Parasite love. I almost think that maybe it's a movie reference. Maybe all of these are just movie references. Like Gill is like copying Trans4 cars. Shelby was kind of like a cheesy action movie, or the way like when we got kidnapped and he just takes the gun out and he's like, I'm SS, and then just like shoots the gun out of like Owen's hand with like perfect precision. So that was just like a cheesy action flick. And then like Ryuki was kind of like a cheesy movie too, when like we were waltzing down the street in like the wedding gown, like teehee, we're running away together. But this like kind of takes the cake. Like, alright, Gil crafted a car, named it Bumblepig, and is driving it to heaven. Alright, let's take a break. I want to keep going, but it's been an hour, so yeah, we need a little break, a little potty break. Save over here. Alright. Well, I hope you guys are having a fun time with this. There's also like a lot of, like, maybe like it'll be revealed in like the other routes. Probably Alan's route. Like, what? Why is Alan doing this? Like, obviously he wanted to reach Celestia, but looks like it's just not happening in this route. But he's obviously up to something, so I'm kind of curious about what. But yeah, let's take a break. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a fun time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.